Today, we are going to find out who the ultimate running back is in the NFL. And to do this, the 32 starting running backs will compete in a bracket-style tournament where one halfback will be crowned champion. Running backs will compete against each other in a specific challenge for each round. The first round will consist of simming through the mid-season in franchise mode and seeing which running back has the most rushing yards in each matchup. First up, we have Nick Chubb and D'Onta Foreman. To keep things fair, both players will play for the Cleveland Browns as they are one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. Through the mid-season, Nick Chubb has 655 rushing yards and D'Onta Foreman was only able to pick up 409 rushing yards, which means Nick Chubb will move on to the next round and D'Onta Foreman is now eliminated from the tournament. Next up, we have Christian McCaffrey versus James Conner, and after simming the first 7 games, McCaffrey went crazy with 721 rushing yards. And if you were looking for an upset, there isn't going to be one here as Conner was only able to rush for 341 yards. The next few matchups went exactly how you expected, with Josh Jacobs defeating J.K. Dobbins, Derrick Henry moving on over Isaiah Pacheco, and Saquon Barkley easily defeating his opponent in Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders. The next matchup is going to be a good one, with Dalvin Cook going up against Raheem Mostert, but Cook was able to put up 478 rushing yards through 7 games, and Mostert was only able to rush for 343 yards, which means 92 overall. Dalvin Cook is moving on. Jonathan Taylor made his matchup look easy against Cam Akers, rushing for 588 yards, and Akers only going for 384. The next matchup was the closest we've seen so far. Aaron Jones was barely able to sneak out a win over Damian Harrison, 460 rushing yards to Harris's 457. Through the first 8 matchups, the bracket is starting to shape itself out for round number 2. Joe Mixon was able to defeat Bills running back Devin Singletary. Austin Eckler had a monster 7 games going for over 600 yards, even though his opponent Breece Hall went for 500. Zeke defeated Fournette. Alvin Kamara is moving on over his opponent in Javonte Williams, and Miles Sanders was able to sneak out a victory over rookie Dameon Pierce. Kenneth Walker III only picking up 389 rushing yards, and his opponent Jamal Williams going for 438, which means Walker is now eliminated. And in the last 2 matchups, Travis Etienne defeated David Montgomery, and then Najee Harris is now moving on past Cordero Patterson. The next round is officially set, and each running back will be able to show off their skill by seeing who can rush for the most yards in just 3 attempts. The first matchup is between Nick Chubb and Najee Harris. Nick Chubb is up first, and each running back will be on the Eagles as they have the best rated offensive line in the game. He is able to rush for 7 yards on his first attempt and then going for 5 on his second attempt. And on his third attempt, Nick Chubb is able to go up the middle and pick up a first down, securing 20 points on that run. Najee Harris is up next, and he did not have a great showing on his first 4 attempts, where he was only able to pick up 1 on his first attempt, 3 on attempt number 2, and his largest run being 9 on his last attempt. And that wasn't good enough as Nick Chubb is moving on to round 3. This next matchup is going to be a good one. We have Joe Mixon taking on Aaron Jones. Mixon is up first, and he's able to pick up 4 yards with a stretch to the right, and then another 4 yards to the left. And on his last attempt, he's going straight up the middle, but he's picking up another 4 for a total of 12 yards. Aaron Jones is up next, and he is able to get 4 on his first attempt. His second attempt is great as he goes for 8 and is currently tied with Mixon at 12 yards with just 1 attempt left. Up the middle he goes for 4 yards, and he is now moving on to round 3, and Mixon is now eliminated. Derrick Henry is up against Miles Sanders, and he starts off strong going for 15 yards on his first attempt, which means he gets an extra 10 yards for picking up a first down. His next 2 attempts are not the best, going for 3 yards on a stretch to the left, and then followed that up with 3 yards running up the middle for a total of 31 yards. And Miles Sanders is off to a tough start, going for 2 yards on attempt number 1 and then 4 on his second attempt. Right now he needs a huge gain in order to keep up. Comes up short on a first down with 9 yards. This next matchup is one of the most anticipated ones, with Saquon Barkley going up against Alvin Kamara. Ended up being a little disappointing as Barkley was only able to pick up 12 yards in total on his first 3 attempts, while Kamara was only able to put up 15 total yards, meaning Saquon is now eliminated and Kamara is moving on to the next round. Christian McCaffrey and Travis Etienne are up next, and it was all Christian McCaffrey in the first round as he picks up 9 on his first attempt, 2 yards on attempt number 2, but he's able to pick up 11 yards and a first down on attempt number 3 for a total of 32 yards. Travis Etienne managed to pick up a solid 15 yards on all 3 attempts, but it was not good enough to keep up with McCaffrey. This next matchup between Jonathan Taylor and Austin Eckler didn't go as expected. Both running backs struggled to get anything going, as you can see with Taylor only picking up 9 on his first 2 attempts and then going for 5 more yards on attempt number 3 for a total of 14. Austin Eckler did not do any better as he only was able to pick up 6 on his first 2 attempts and then picking up 4 on his last one for a total of 10 yards. To my surprise, this next matchup was extremely close. Josh Jacobs started off slow, only picking up 3 yards on his first attempt, and he followed that up with another 3 yards. But on his last attempt, he was able to break off for 7 yards, putting his total to 13. Jamal Williams is up next, and he is able to pick up 4 yards on a stretch to the right as he followed that up with 3 yards, and now needs at least 6 yards to tie this up. And unfortunately, he's only able to pick up 4, and now has to pack his bag because he is eliminated. We are down to our last matchup for round number 2, and this one should be close. And Cook is able to pick up a solid 9 yards on his first 2 attempts, and then goes for 9 more as he rushes up the middle for a total of 18 yards. Zeke starts off a bit better than Dalvin Cook as he goes for 10 on his first 2 attempts, and now needs at least 8 more yards, and oh, he's not able to get it as he goes for 7, only 1 yard shy of tying it up. After seeing how many yards each running back could rush for, the bracket is set for round number 3. And for this round, each running back has 3 attempts to score a touchdown from the 1 yard line, and each running back will play for the Cowboys, and they will be going up against the best defense in the NFL, the 49ers. Nick Chubb is up first, and he is able to walk into the end zone on his first attempt. He is stopped on the next one, but is able to fight back and secure another touchdown, going for 2 for 3. Aaron Jones starts off hot, getting into the end zone on his first attempt, but things went downhill fast as he failed to score on his next 2 attempts and is now eliminated, and Nick Chubb advances to round number 4. We all know Henry is a force in the red zone, and he shows it off here in his first 2 attempts, going 2 for 2. And he is able to remain perfect as he scores another touchdown on his 3rd attempt. Alvin Kamara has his work cut out for him, but he manages to score on his first 2 attempts as well, and now needs to get into the end zone here to bring it to a tiebreaker. And unfortunately, the 49ers defense is able to stuff him, and Henry moves on. McCaffrey is unable to score on his first attempt, but manages to find the end zone on his attempt number 2 and 3, finishing with a total of 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor was dominant as he was able to score on all 3 attempts and is now moving on to the final 4. Josh Jacobs is up next, and he is able to score on his first attempt. Attempt number 2, he gets stopped unfortunately, but on attempt number 3, he is able to get into the end zone, going 2 for 3. And Dalvin Cook upset Josh Jacobs in round number 3. He is off to a great start, getting into the end zone on his first 2 attempts. Attempt number 3, and yes! He is able to secure his spot into the next round. The stage is now set for the final 4, where just one will be crowned the ultimate running back. A running back's ability to excel in the passing game is incredibly important to open up the run game. So for this challenge, each running back will have 4 attempts at an HB slip screen to see how many yards they can tally up. A first down is worth an extra 10 yards, and a touchdown is worth an extra 25 yards. In this round, we have Nick Chubb going up against Derrick Henry. Nick Chubb is able to pick up 4 on his first attempt, and he followed that up with another 4 yards. Mahomes gets it off to Chubb, but he loses a yard in the process, and on his last attempt, he is able to pick up 2 yards for a grand total of 9. Henry up next, and he starts off quite well, going for 5 yards on attempt number 1, and following that up with another 2 yards. Off to the left side, Henry is able to pick up 6 yards, and then picks up another 11, plus 10 for the first down, moving on to the finals with 34 yards. The next round is between Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook, and Taylor is off to a tough start. Only able to pick up 1 on his first attempt. His second attempt was not much better as he picks up another yard. He really needs to make something happen here, but that's not gonna happen. We're getting stopped behind the line of scrimmage, losing a yard. And attempt number 4 did not go much better as he isn't able to pick up any yards. Dalvin Cook does not need to do too much to win this round. Let's see what he can do here. He starts off strong, going for 6 yards and then another 2 on his second try. Unfortunately, he does lose 2 yards on attempt number 3, but fights back and picks up 6 for a total of 12 yards. We will let a Super Bowl matchup decide who will be crowned the ultimate running back. Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook will both play for the Colts, and whichever team wins, that running back will be declared the winner of this tournament. 3rd down and 3 to start the game, hands it off to Derrick Henry, and he breaks a tackle, picking up the first down. Derrick Henry is able to pick up a few yards for his team, and they were able to get down the field. On 4th down and 1 in the red zone, they decide to go for it, and they hand it off to Derrick Henry, who is able to pick up the first down. On the very next play, Derrick Henry rushes in for a touchdown, putting his team up 7-0. And here is Dalvin Cook's first look at the game. He gets the handoff, and he goes for a few more yards, juking his opponents out. But unfortunately, the offense couldn't really get a whole lot going on that drive, and they had to punt it back to Derrick Henry's team. Derrick Henry was able to work down the field, picking up a few extra yards, getting his team into scoring position, where Nick Foles was able to hit Paris Campbell for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook was able to help his team get to the red zone, and here they go. Let's see if they can find a touchdown. Nick Foles is just throwing that one away, and right before half, they were able to get on the board once again to Alec Pierce. Heading into the 4th quarter, Derrick Henry's team has a big lead, 24-3, and they are carrying that momentum here. 4th down down and inches. Derrick Henry gets the handoff and he picks up a first down. He has 71 yards already and 1 touchdown. And here we go, 2nd and goal. He is able to find his receiver in the end zone. And just like that, Derrick Henry's team wins, and Derrick Henry is crowned the ultimate running back for this tournament. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click on this video because I'm sure you'll enjoy it.